Welcome to the Profit Plus YouTube channel. Today we are going to show you how to automate extracting data from a website. No copy paste, no data transformation, no data cleansing. All you need is a click of a second. I am going to analyze the performance of Sri Lankan cricket team. Let's say I have to do this on weekly basis. How are you going to do that? Download the exact same data on regular basis and do the same analysis? No. Let's have a look at our solution.
Here we have got this dashboard to analyze the bowling performance of Sri Lankan bowlers for last 3 years. In this section, you can compare the economy rates. Similarly, you can compare the averages, number of wickets, as well as the trend of economy rates as well. Let's say I want to filter this whole dashboard to 2021. I just have to go here and click on this particular item. Then the whole dashboard will be filtered to the figures of 2021. Similarly, if I want to analyze the performance of Vanidhu Hasaranga, I just have to go here and select his name. Just have to find his name here. Yeah, here he is. So I clicked on Vanidhu Hasaranga. Then it shows that he has bowled around 109 overs to take 23 wickets at an average of around 23.3, and his economy rate has been around 4.92, and you can actually see the trend of his economy rate as well. Similarly, we can actually compare Vanidhu Hasaranga with Mahesh Theekshana or Dhananjali Silva. Let's say we are comparing him with Dhananjali Silva and Mahesh Theekshana. So if we compare these three bowlers, we can see that Mahesh Theekshana has been the most economical bowler, where Vanidhu Hasaranga has been the bowler with the most number of wickets as well as the best average. So similarly, you can do whatever the analysis that you want to make on these bowlers. And the most important thing is that all of this data is based on the latest data published by crickinfo. Let's say, so I just have to exit from the full screen mode. Here, yeah, I'm done with that. So let's say I want to update this dashboard to the latest information published by crickinfo, in which case I have to go here, go to table design, and I just have to refresh all. Then it will be updated to the latest figures published by crickinfo website. So I have used only Excel to do all of this. No Power BI, no Tableau, just Excel.
How cool is that? Does it make your life easier? So you too can build that dashboard just using Excel. Depending on your use case, you can use this for weather data tracking, stock market analysis, or for the job market researchers. So let's have a look at how we are going to learn it.
As I previously mentioned, crickinfo is going to be our main data source. So here I am on the website. I'm going to stat, then stat guru. I'm interested on ODI records and I'm analyzing bowling performance. So I'm selecting these fields adequately. Then I'm interested on Sri Lankan cricket team. So I have to select the team that I'm going to analyze. And I'm interested on last 3 years. Then I'm going to analyze data by year of the match start. Then I have to submit the query by clicking this button. Then I'm going here and I'm going to copy this URL.
So now you got your data source ready. As I said earlier, this could be any website depending on your use case. You just need to copy the URL of your data source.
Here I have opened a new Excel workbook. The function that I'll be using to extract data from a website is called Power Query. To access Power Query, I'm going to data on this ribbon and then go to get data, where I'll see a few options to extract data. For the moment, I'll be interested on extracting data from a website, where I have to go to from other sources where I'll see the option to extract data from a website. So I'm clicking here. Then on this window, I'm pasting the URL I copied from the website. On this window, you will see whatever the tables that you carry with the URL. So I'm selecting the table with the data that I want to analyze, and then I'm going to transform this data. So this window is called the Power Query. This is where you have to do all of your automations on data cleansing and data transformation. First of all, I'm looking at whether there are any inappropriate data which will get me in trouble when it comes to analyzing data. So as you can see here, there are a few inappropriate figures on BBI and average. So I'm screening my data. Another way that you can do the same is go here and see the list of data that you have. So this data type is not going to help me, so I'm removing that data type. So by unticking the box here, then I can click OK. Likewise, I can screen this data set. Seems good. And then I'm looking at the data types of each columns or the fields. So if you take the column called innings, so I want it to be a whole number, and it is a whole number, the data type. And going forward, if you take the average, I would prefer it to be a decimal number, so I'm changing the data type to a decimal number. And same goes with the strike rate as well. I'm changing this as well. Yeah. So, and this column is not needed for me, so I'm removing this column. Okay, looks good. Yeah. Now I have done my data transformation and data cleansing part. So depending on the website and the quality of the data that you are getting to here, the data cleansing part and the data transformation part could be a bit more complicated, but in this use case scenario, it is a simple one. Once you are done with data transformation and data cleansing part, you can go here and close and load the code. So now you have got your data set ready for the analysis. If you have followed my previous videos, you know how to build a dashboard out of this data set. But for the new viewers, I'm going to repeat a few of those steps. First, I need to insert a pivot table for this data set. To do that, I'm going to insert pivot table and selecting from data range option. Then I'm selecting OK here. So if you can remember, there was a bar graph to analyze the number of wickets by player. To get that table, I'm selecting player for the row and number of wickets as a value. So here we have the table. Then I'm going to sort this table to the number of wickets. Here we have the table. Then I'm going to insert and selecting the kind of graph that I need for the dashboard. So here we have the bar graph which we use to analyze the number of wickets. And there was a slicer where we could actually filter the whole dashboard according to the year. To insert that slicer, I'm clicking on this table, go to pivot table, analyze, and then I can insert the slicer here. So I need the slicer to filter the year. So I'm ticking here and click OK. Here we have the slicer to filter the table for year. So if I click here, so it will show the number for 2021. Here we go. So then there was another bar graph to actually analyze the economy rates of the players. Okay, to generate that graph, I'm going to insert another pivot table. I can do that by copying the same pivot table that we have. Okay, instead of wickets, now I'm interested on the economy rate. So here we have a mathematical problem. If we actually average it out, can actually get the average of economy rate here, but it will mathematically be wrong because for each year it is not the same number of matches or the overs that the player has played, in which case either we have to use the weighted average or else we have to actually get the summation of France and divide it by the summation of the overs that the bowler has bowled. So I'll go with the second option. To do that, I can actually click on this pivot table and then go to table analysis, where I can see field items and sets. Here I can select calculated field to define the function that I need. So I'm naming the function as the overall average. Okay, so here I can define this function. So I'm going to get the sum of, so I'm going to get the sum of France divided by the sum of, within parentheses, within brackets actually, sum of France divided by the sum of overs. So then I'll get the economy rate. Okay, have to click OK. So then I'll actually get the economy rate of each player. So I'm not interested on the simple average. So I'm ticking that off. So since you have actually used the function correctly, it doesn't matter if you take the average or the sum here. So it will give you the right value. So then to analyze the economy rates of each player, there was another bar graph. So I'm inserting that bar graph here. Okay. So the problem that I'm seeing now is, even though we have a slicer, so where's my slicer? Okay. Even though I have my slicer, it will connect it with both. So, okay. So in case this slicer is not connected with both graphs, what you can do is you can select the slicer and then go to report connection, and in case if you have not ticked both of these, it will not filter both tables. So let's say we untick the pivot table 5 and click OK. Then if you go here, so it will filter only the bar graph that we just inserted, not the bar graph that we are using to analyze the number of wickets. So to actually sync this slicer with both the graphs, we have to go to report connections and put all of these ticks. Okay, so now we have actually generated 2 of the visuals that we needed for the dashboard.
In this video, I'm not going to show design in the entire dashboard, but you can find it from my previous video. If you learn something new, subscribe my YouTube channel to learn new tricks and tips.